This is Economy Watch, what you need to know about New Zealand's economic life today. Brought to you by interest.co.nz.
Kia ora, and welcome to Tuesday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news that investors seem to be having second thoughts about third quarter earnings in light of the supposedly close US election race. Wall Street is retreating and US Treasury yields are rising. But first, the US Conference Board said its leading economic index fell by 0.5% in September, following a 0.3% decline in August. Over the 6-month period between March and September, this leading indicator fell by 2.6%, which was more than the 2.2% decline over the previous 6-month period. Weakness in new factory orders continues to be the major drag, along with the yield spread. And Canada is getting ready for a 50 basis point rate cut on Thursday. Sentiment about where their economy is headed seems to be fractured depending on age. Older Canadians are increasingly optimistic. Younger Canadians remain pessimistic. Across the Pacific, Malaysia said its economy grew by 5.3% in the third quarter of 2024, which is at the upper end of its quarterly growth rate since the start of 2023. A year ago, it was expanding at a 3.1% rate. And Taiwanese export orders rose to their highest level in 2 years in September, even though the pace of that growth slowed to 4.6%. All this is happening while its large neighbour is trying to squeeze it into submission. That large neighbour's central bank has pushed through cuts to its loan prime rates by its big state-owned banks, and by more than expected, cutting the 1 year by 25 basis points to 3.10% and the 5 year by the same amount to 3.60%. These are record lows. The 1 year rate is the benchmark for most corporate and household loans. The 5 year rate is the benchmark for mortgages. All this is part of a stimulus plan to prevent a dangerous slowdown from occurring in their economy. At the same time, Chinese banks cut 25 basis points from their deposit rates to prevent deterioration in their margins. This will impact huge numbers of Chinese household savings. This may become a factor in some shift of savings into their equity markets. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.18% and up 10 basis points from this time yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $2,720 an ounce and unchanged from yesterday. But oil prices are $1.50 higher, at just on $70.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price now just over $74 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 60.3 US cents and down 40 basis points from yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're unchanged at 90.6 Australian cents, but against the euro, we're down 20 basis points at 55.7 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 69 and down 20 basis points from yesterday at this time. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $67,130 and down 2.1% from yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been moderate at just under plus or minus 2%. You can find links to the articles mentioned today in our show notes, and you can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.